Hello again. So last time we solved a few more levels. I have a theory about this level right here. As you might remember, I took quite an interesting path to solve this one last time, and I am suspicious that I might have actually solved this one backwards, which is to say, I was probably supposed to open this door first and then solve all of the different rooms in the reverse order. And I do think I know how I would do some of that, but for now I'm not too interested in doing it on video. So we'll move on from that. And here we've got Blind Date. So this one, we've got two thingies, and we've got some push blocks. So I'm just going to keep these bunched together. So we need to clear a path there, and then let's do some cursory checking around in other parts of the level. Doesn't seem like there's much action elsewhere until we get to here, where we've got an interesting shape of things here. So, what do we want to do? We can't push that out of the way. We have pushed stuff around. Apparently we can't... Okay, I'm gonna reset. So... Curious how yeah, just trying to figure out what counts as pushable and what doesn't here. Okay, so now for my third test. So I'm going to push a thing down here. I'm going to push it over again. And now, okay, I'm going to do... So I've opened up a space there. I can even open up some more spaces. So, in general, we can push the blocks around and swap the thing into them, and that would allow us to eventually, hopefully, make some headway on some of the blocks around here. Let's think. Just pretending that these invisible blocks are visible so they're easier to visualize in my head. If we pushed a swap along the middle row or column, we would be able to extract a block, push down, then push the swap again, and now there's a grate in the way, and then push again, and now there's two grates and we've got a path open. So, okay. And, right, we only need one push block in order to escort the swap around. So I have a potential viable solution for one part of this, but not necessarily the other part. So how do I solve this conundrum down here? Because we can cover up there, but it doesn't help much. And just to be sure, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to deal with this yet. So I'm going to bunch these up again. I'm going to solve one part of this. Where is that block? Here it is. Yeah, that's how that looks. So now we do a little bit of this. Some pretty repetitive motions, but I'm pretty used to it at this point. So now if I do this, and then gonna bunch these up just so that I don't accidentally like smash one real quick. So I do this. Okay, that's a solid. I wasn't prepared for that to be solid. And of course we can't quite corner hit that. So, fascinating. Okay. Okay, so hold on. So we do one smack there, another one there. Going to just separate you real quick. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I should be doing here. I'm going to see if I can remove one of the walls. Okay. Yeah, it's solid, just as I suspected. So that leaves me just a bit more confused about what's actually going on here. Gonna just do some of this off recording, I think. Okay, I have an idea. I think even with those being walls, there is a way to at least reach one corner here. So it looks a little something like this. Just doing the same sort of setup step as before. So now, let's force it into a corner instead of against the side. So we'll do this. Now it's still exposed on this side, so we can do this. And it's still exposed here, so we can do this. And as I suspected, that isn't quite gonna yield a solution, unfortunately. But at the very least, it's progress. So let's see if I can figure anything else out. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to bust out the big guns and look at the level data for this, because mapping this out in my head is not working. Okay, I think I see something. So, looking at the level data, I mostly got the shape right, although, I did misinterpret where some of the pushable blocks were relative to each other. And yeah, there isn't anything special to this one. It really is just as it looks. So I believe what I have to do is, there are 3 pushables here. I push this one and this one. And then I push this out of the way. And then I push this that way. And that's one hole exposed. Okay, so we're having a good time. And then we already figured out how to do this part. Just looks a little something like this. Okay. So we'll settle this one into place. And then over here. And that's a solve. Okay. Very weird level. This level is something we actually played in the tutorial pack, so there's no reason to play it again. So next up is Upstream Journey by Jacob Scott, because of course. Okay, so we've got... Okay, hold on, I'm gonna reset to get a life back. I think I understand how this works. So we just do this. And okay, and this is the whole thing. So green, blue, red. We can take some shortcuts. Oh, we've got bouncies. Oh, and we've also got pits, because of course. Okay, I'm gonna restart. I feel tempted to try for a par. Probably not the wisest. Blue, green. Presumably this one is going to be red. I have a feeling that this one is going to use shuffle logic for the oxids. Alright, so blue, green, red. Blue. Green. And then we've got red again. So just going to keep this as is. Oh. Oh, this is what it means by upstream. Okay. So if I go down here, then I'm doomed. That's the lesson here. So we do this, we're gonna get a match, and now those pits are really inconveniently placed. Alright. Yeah, really inconveniently placed. What are you thinking, buddy? So, obviously, we don't have to travel upstream if we get really amazing oxid luck, but red, green, blue. Okay, so... Actually, hold on a second. So... Yeah, I think I'm getting a knack for the sort of motion that I need to travel upstream. And yeah, I get why the pits exist now, but that doesn't mean they're not mean. So we've got... I'm gonna reset again. So we can infer the last oxid in each triplet, so we don't actually need to visit them. So I'm going to go for green and red. So green, red, blue. Green, red, blue. Okay, we've got a match. Okay, we're going to expend a life here to just get an easy match. Okay. Okay, better than par. Glad I don't have to return there. That was interesting. Narrow paths. Let me take a breather and then we'll get into this. Okay, so we've got a random maze And we've got these super duper narrow tiles. I guess, just out of habit, I'm going to go ahead and lower my mouse speed. But it doesn't seem like the narrowness is actually that big a deal here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a restart and just sort of treat this as any other sort of maze level. It'll definitely be a little bit challenging to stay on the path, but with lower mouse speed, precision isn't too much of an issue. So we've got a blue there. So let's hope for a match soon. That whole path is a dead end. So, just trucking along here. Unfortunate. So we do this. I'm actually going to take another tactical defeat, although that didn't really save me that much time now that I think about it. So, let's just hope I can make it the remaining way. Apparently the answer is no. Okay, I'll take this straight away. Very interesting generation. Okay. Yeah, really interesting generation. Okay. Do a little bit of that. I am not going to take a tactical death this time, because now I know that I should not have that degree of confidence in myself. Hubris is the enemy of man. So we'll just go along here. Okay. Neat. Level finished. Not par. Scary. Okay. So, what was the par on that? Really now? That does have an easy mode. Let's check out the easy mode. Oh. Oh, how funny. Okay. Acknowledged. Okay, so let's try bishop. Yeah, I sort of figured that was what was going to happen. Oh, I have a spring. Okay. So... funny. Okay. And then... okay, so that's an edge. And we've got a really big checkerboard over here. Okay. So we've got a blue. It appears that this is one far corner. And I die. Doesn't seem to be a reset on death level, which is abnormal by Jacob Scott standards. So we got the bottom left corner now. And we die. Okay. I think I get it. I'm going to just mute myself so I can focus more. Okay, that wasn't too bad. What is the par time on that? Okay, as long as you get good Oxid luck, you should be able to do that one pretty easy. Brittle Floor, that's another one we've played. Keep Away. Okay. Oh, okay. No reset. So we've got thingies chasing us. Oh, okay. I get it. So I'm going to reset. So let's try... Wow, those things just really want to accelerate. I see. So, okay, so we need to keep them on the floor. That keeps them slow. So we've got a cyan over there, a red, a blue, and a green. Okay. Good to know that that can happen. So we've got yellow over there. That was a green, I think. So apparently it wasn't. That's a green. Okay. So that's a cyan. So we can take that. Yellow. Okay. That was a red. And I died. Okay. Well, I think I get it. Blue. Blue. Yellow. Cyan. Green, red. Green. Yellow. Cyan. Okay, better than par. That was a cool level. Rare, easy, nice Jacob Scott level. You love to see it. And then we have this. Okay. So... Oh, I already see what's going on here, and I already hate it. I'm going to turn my mouse speed up a lot, I think. So this is what's going on here. Okay. So I'm just going to take a second to recalibrate again. Okay. So, I'm going to turn my mouse speed up to maximum. So we're going to need to figure out how to go really fast here, but not fast enough to ram into those. This is a pretty diabolical level. Oh, good grief. Okay, I'm gonna need to take some time to get used to how these work. Like, at what point in the rising is my momentum applied, is the real question. Seems to be at about that point in the animation. I guess the next question is it a cascading effect that applies momentum over a period of time as opposed to a single moment? That'll be another good thing to figure out. Inconclusive. Seems to be pretty close to a moment. I'm gonna have a rough time here. Okay, I think I'm exercising my right to skip on this one. Please don't take me into the next. I'm trying to see my way out of this. Yeah, that's sort of what I figured. Why knowledge 4? Is it because of the holes? Is that it? I know that knowledge has a weird sort of metric, very objective metric. Yeah, solved 21%. That's very low. This level kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially with the mouse, where I have to like recenter it to get a clean stroke on every single jump, and make sure that like the peak of my mouse stroke is at the perfect speed and at the perfect time to align with the moment that the ball comes out of the hole, and the fact that the walls are all death. They couldn't just be normal walls, they had to be death blocks specifically. Yeah, this is another Jacob Scott masterpiece. I'm moving on. So next up, bright dots. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. This is fun. So I'm going to turn down my mouse speed again. Okay. Hopefully, I don't have to worry about these going away. Well, they are surely going away right now. Okay. So it's a random maze. Okay. So these parts are safe. So we've got a nice clean line all the way down here. That's nice. Next up, we got a nice clean line all the way up here. That's also nice. Next up, so blue is on the up. Okay, red is on the down. So let's go back down here. Get a match. Go up here. Hit this one. This row was stable until here. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, level finished. That was cute. Monster in the dark. Okay. I'm not really sure what to make of this. Something tells me that this is, like, the one reasonable strategy. Like, there's probably a rotor in here somewhere, but who cares? I can't tell if the floor is just, like, really quick. Like, hold on. I'm going to lower my mouse speed a lot. Yeah, these bounces are nonsensical to me. So I'm just going to... The fact that I don't even know where I start is kind of wild. Like, do I just have control of several marbles? Is that what's going on here? Oh, hold on. I think I recognize one set of particles. So that thing in the rotor in the middle is a rotor closing in on me. So At the very least, I get something about this. Got a lucky red match. So... okay, so the next thing I don't understand is what sort of floor am I standing on? I think this is another one where I'm going to exercise my right to look at the level data, because there's probably slopes and stuff, and I don't have time for that. So that's the directory. Let me just take a second. Okay. Okay, so I get vaguely how this works now, and the overall shape of this. So I know where I start now, which is nice. I wish I could understand the traction of the floor I'm standing on, but I'm getting somewhere with this. Going to echolocate around here. Completely mess up my understanding of where I am relative to everything. So we've got a black one in that corner. Got a red one here. Okay, so I know where I am now. We got a match. So white one over there. And I died. Fantastic. But I think I get it. I think, despite the deck being stacked against me, I do think I understand how this works. So, got a cyan there. That rotor is probably going to hit something for me. Never mind, it's just going to hit me. I'm going to restart. And there's some very annoying blocks close to the walls, which I have to look out for. And also the rotor. Okay, gonna move away from that. Unfortunate death right there. Lucky match. Okay. That's another one. Very nice of you, Mr. Rotor, to hit that one Oxid while I was waiting on a match. Okay. A little bit risky, but... I think I've circled around that thing. Okay. Now we've got one match left. Okay, level finished. Good grief. Alright, Snow White. This is gonna turn my speed up. So we've got, oh, we've got inversion floors. This is, look, they're over there. Okay. Not quite sure what you mean by this, buddy. Oh, okay. So we've got some hiddens. That's good to know. Oh, okay. So this is a meditation level. I should have figured, but... So we've got one thing centered there. Now to look for the other ones. Okay, so we've got another one in there. Is there a chance? Okay, not up there. I think I'm gonna have to, yeah, yank one of these out. Okay. So... that's you down there. And then... there we go, level finished. That was cute. I'm going to know my limits and stop there, but that was a pretty interesting selection of levels. Fly High is definitely the worst level I have seen since, where was it, in Enigma 2? Which one was it, Snowing? Yeah, this one was also relatively dog water in terms of playability. Like, this one might even be harder than that one, just because, like, this one requires actual mouse precision over a very long string of time, with Oxid matching on top, as opposed to just, like, what you could argue is just good mouse luck and bouncing around the place. So I'm going to leave that at that. Interesting stuff today. See you next time.